And we are back with game 2. We have Tenza and Nemuri. Tenza able to take that first game with just suddenly corruptors is basically the beginning and end of that statement. No more love back and forth between these two players. No hearts. So Nemuri no longer loves Tenza. Do I feel a love triangle developing? Only time will tell. So we're going to see, I assume that Nemuri is going to go for something very similar here. I wouldn't be surprised to see a faster third base. He is going to go ahead and build the forge down at the natural entrance here. But this third base is very easy to expand. There's no way to really get in here unless Nemuri uses those mutas, or excuse me, Tenza uses those mutas that I've seen him use many times before. Other than that, it looks like it's going to be pretty straightforward. No cheese in this game, unfortunately. I enjoy some cheese. It can be quite fun to cast. But good news is, ooh, before I choke on my own spit, I think this will have to be a 2-beer series, as I am mostly done. This Wheat Monkey Ale is just going down like butter. Actually, that was probably a poor analogy. Going down like water would probably be better. Yeah, we're going to go with water for sure. Okay, so both players going to be scouting out. Probably both going to be doing the little dance that they do in order to try to block each other. And it looks like Tenza is going to go for a hatch first instead of a pool. Maybe not. Turning around now and throws down the pool. It looks like his kind of MO is if there's a pro block there, then he just goes ahead and throws up a pool first in order to not be blocked. And same thing, Nemuri, same exact dance. Nexus goes up right on time, no big deal there, and Nemuri does a pretty good job blocking this. Oh, and gets 2 hits there, able to block it once again. Oh, a little bit better than last time even. Can he dart in for one more block? Oh, and just barely misses. Those are the things that you have to focus on early game, folks. There's not a whole lot going on. But little things can snowball like that when you are at this level. You know, if you are perhaps a gold, platinum player, those things do not really matter. The timings are not that precise. Yes, you can probably hit a 4-gate somewhere close to, you know, a Pro League timing, but those literal seconds don't quite matter as much. We'll see a Forge Fast Expand, pretty typical. He's going to throw up that cannon after seeing that pool going up. These 2 Lings will not get there in time. This cannon will finish okay, no worries here. And this probe, these 2 Lings definitely see it. Able to get some good hits on it, and depending on his control, oh, going the wrong way. That thing's never going to get home. He's going to check for a third base, but it's not quite there yet. And, oh, does he not? He doesn't even see the drone coming. A little bit rough, probably assumes it's going down anyway, but we'll have to see if he alters his strategy at all because of it. He is leaving this probe here, a little bit odd. Might just be trying to wait, be extra careful before they sell it. Wondering if he's maybe thinking that, you know, perhaps he's going for something a little bit more aggressive. No gases or anything yet for Tenza. So he will be okay. Jumping forward, getting those queens out, getting his production going. You guys know the drill. So I'm debating what I would like to see here from Nemuri. I mean, the Colossi were okay, except he waited until those Corruptors came out and just decimated him. Absolute throwdown. So I'm not sure. I'm not actually a fan of the Stargate opening, even though it is pretty standard. I think there's a couple more interesting things. I'm not quite sure what exactly I want to see here. I don't know whether he's going to be slightly more aggressive than normal or not, and he is going to take down this Overlord. Maybe eventually those little tickle beams getting in there. That Overlord just getting a nice easy tickles, but he's not really able to see much. He does see these 2 gases being thrown down, the 2 already done in the main, but this Overlord will see that pylon being built immediately. Excuse me, I had to sneeze there just a little bit. And of course, Tenza just running around the map a little bit with those lings, trying to get some utility out. We will see that Stargate, same basic premise as before. Whoops, and this Overlord will almost certainly see it, and he does. And you will see that it is a Phoenix being created. Perhaps now is my time to work on my cinematics, as we can go for things like rotations, so we can make sure that we get in on the battles. But that probably won't be that important. And of course you will see that this Phoenix comes out, and looks like there are just these two Overlords down here. Nothing else he's really going to be able to pick off, but those can help cripple your opponent just a little bit. Just make him spend that extra, a few hundred minerals replacing those. And we will see, he is just going up now to 3 warp gates. Very similar build to last time. No real differences, except he's not going for that +1 at all. And now he is moving into Void Rays after 1 Phoenix. A little interesting, and it looks like, yes, he will be going for that extra... Oh, can he get the block? No, so close. Not that it would have mattered too much, but yes, he is going for that faster third base, as I rather anticipated. This map just kind of calls for that sort of thing. Typically, you see a little bit longer of macro games. And he is actually building a second Stargate, so maybe we will see sort of a mass Void Ray sort of thing going here. May not work out too well, as Tenza is already getting out plenty of Hydralisks. He's definitely got some Roach upgrades going, so we'll have to see. No real upgrades for either player at this point, except that Nemuri is going to +1 and +1 air weapons, which definitely means he's going into Sky Toss. We'll have to see how that does against all of those Hydralisks that are currently being built. He is already up to just 4 with 5 more on the way, yeah, so he'll be up to 9 with no Lings or anything else, so he's going pure Hydra up to this point. Does not bode well. Sky Toss, I don't know if you guys know, but Hydras are pretty good against things like Void Rays. So he is now chrono boosting those out 2 at a time, really trying to pump those out, maybe trying to kind of surprise his opponent. I don't think... Oh no, I hit the back button instead of the V. That's going to keep happening in replays. I do not believe he has any idea that there is a second Stargate. Absolutely not. And good news is we are caught up here, but he will, depending on the positioning here, if he sees these 2 Void Rays... Oh no, he's pulling his army away. And he's definitely going to see these 2 Void Rays almost for sure. Oh, and a little bit of a misclick, but will not see anything further. Doesn't see the third Void Ray, so he knows now. But Tenza has to be feeling pretty good, knowing that, just Void Rays are out. He is getting the Spire. Going to go into Corruptors, most likely. Corruptors and Hydras can do wonders for you. As you see, this attack is going to be coming in. Just kind of a nice poke, not any sort of dedication. And oh no, this Mothership Core way out of position. And now with these Void Rays also out of position. Nemuri is having a little bit of trouble in this series, keeping his units in line. Nice easy probe pick off there. He does have just a single Zealot, and he does throws him up. And pretty good force fields here. Oh, and a great last force field. Now, while his positioning may not be on, his force fields are. And Tenza quickly retreats. Does not quite have that upgrade for those Hydras to get back. That will kick in. Just so you guys can see what that... God, hit the V button again. Boy, this caster is just messing things up all over the place. But just so you guys can take a look and see what that looks like when that upgrade finishes. It's this guy right here. Will kick in, and he's probably going to stop moving. There it is. You can see just a little bit faster movement, able to keep up with some of these roaches. So, again, Nemuri just kind of rounding out that tech tree. Going to go into... Storm, whereas Tenza is getting way more Hydras, 11 more on the way, already up to 12 with 17 roaches, going to be going up into the 20s, mid-20s or so. Things like Storm is probably going to be what Nemuri is relying on in order to cut down on those numbers. Now this force here, there's not many Hydras here. This force won't do great against the Void Rays. To see what happens here, he is going to focus down on those Hydras with the Void Rays, and focusing pretty well, able to get a lot of damage done to him. And once those are gone, there's really not going to be much here, and it looks like Nemuri's going to clean this up relatively easily without losing any of his major units, which is very key. All those Void Rays now up to 7. None of those going down, so plenty of lost units, about 3 grand more for Tenza lost. He does have that 4th base, but Protoss on 3 base can hold up pretty well, as that Psionic Storm will be finished up. More Roaches coming down. So the unit counts get 16 Hydras, 12 Roaches. Those 8 Void Rays are going to be doing wonders. He has ceased Void Ray production at least for a little bit, focusing more on Storm, and he's adding some gateways. Really not a whole lot in his main. Really investing pretty heavily in a kind of a pseudo wall here at the 3rd base. Just seeing a Lonely Zealot come over, take this watchtower. He will not see, and so help me God, if I hit the B button again, you guys, I will rage quit this cast. Ridiculous. Completely screwing it up. The good news is, if I ever do live streaming, that will not be a factor. And he can barely see that there is a base here, so he will most certainly send over some Zealots. And like 2 ships passing in the night, as Testosis so often says, these two are both way out of position to defend. But Tenza in the better spot here, and suddenly Nemuri will know. Will he pull back? Oh, he knows that they're definitely there now. Oh, he's got to know this army is just sitting right outside. Tenza must have sensed that there is no army there, so he's quickly going to run back. He's going to check over here, but these photon cannons will be up in plenty of time. And this army, what will happen here? Oh, this 4th base, there's no chance that this stays up. And what will Nemuri do? It looks like he's going to try to counterattack as well. We might have a little bit of a base trade going on here. Depending, and he does see those mutas pop out, which is very, very key. He's got a couple Zealots going to work over here, that +2, working wonders. We'll be able to take that down. As now this force is heading back. He was able to recall that force back to his natural. Oh, but he's not going to be out in front. He's going to be stuck in a little bit of an awkward position. Not the best position here. Oh, a great surround here. Oh, but the storms are money. First one's good, second one's good. 3rd and 4th miss just a little bit, but we'll have to see. Oh, so many Void Rays doing so much damage. The High Templar are cleaned up, but he is left with plenty there. Now he's pumping out Phoenix in order to counter these mutas. Oh, and so many mutas coming in. 24 mutas, and this is not going to go well for these Void Rays at all. He is going to lose all of these Void Rays. There's no Storm to speak of anywhere close. And with some focus firing, he should lose, yes, all of them. He's got an Archon on the way. Those Phoenix doing plenty of good. It just barely gets this Void Ray out. Yes, now working on the Pulse Crystals to give those Phoenix that +2 range, which are oh so important against those Mutalisks. But was able to take down 2 bases, maintaining his 3rd. But the main is looking pretty scarce here. Look, just 50 right on cue. That is going to run out. I look like a boss caster when I do things like that. And oddly enough, he will see where these mutas are, and he might try to attack with these Phoenix. They are just +1. Mutas are +1 as well. +1 attack, that is. Plenty more Phoenix coming up. It looks like he has smartly ceased muta production for the meantime, switching more into Corruptors to a little bit better against Phoenix. They do not get that bonus damage. We'll have to see. The creep spread isn't great here. There is one thing that I could comment on that Tenza can do a little bit better. This creep spread could be way across the map. These Zerglings just now getting speed. I was going to wonder where that was at. These will certainly come over to harass this base, but a full assortment here as Nemuri sees that coming entirely and will be able to handle all of these Zerglings very easily. Pulls back. And here are these Phoenix going to town. We'll see here, this is too many muta to run into. It would be close. He does have that +1 range upgrade. Some more drones he could pick off if he would like. But now he is kind of taking down these Overseers, which are a little out of position. Plenty of Overlords here as well. And now the Corruptors come in front, and he knows he can't face those one-on-one. But he is going to try and see what he can get done here. We'll have to see a very intense little micro battle. These Phoenix, you do have to babysit them oh so importantly, and he is staying just barely out of range. He'll get quite a bit done, but if he can join up with the rest of his army, that will be very clutch. Uh-oh, and he missed micros for just a moment. You can see how devastating that can be. So Overlord's flying in. He's going to go down a little bit. Our Zerg player actually pretty far down in supply here. I would say that Nemuri's definitely got the upper hand, getting this base up, able to take down those other two. Tenza hasn't been able to reestablish that base. Nemuri pretty much mined out, able to maneuver back over here. Smartly defending over here. All these Phoenix are here, and this simply will not work out for Tenza. As now I believe he's going to try to go across the map and see if he can do anything here at the third of the Protoss. And those Corruptors going in, holding everything at bay, which is a great move, while these Mutants are going to go across and go to town. But now Nemuri knows that those are in there. Working forward slowly with those Phoenix, though that +2 range, oh so important, able to run these back. And if he could pursue just a little bit more, he would get so much more. Just look out, there are quite a bit of Corruptors back here. And he knows if he can just get a little bit more, it could really help him out. Tenza's a little tense right now. He's producing 7 more Mutant, not quite sure how well that's going to do. No +2 yet for these air units, even though it looks like Tenza is pretty heavily committed. Nemuri is maxed out now, definitely has a superior ground army, going to be able to clean up anything there, but so many Corruptors. 19 Corruptors, 22 Mutas. Those High Templar that are mixed in are going to be so vital to his success. He is going to try to come in and potentially, taking out that pylon's good news, but catches a good volley there from the Corruptors, and these Phoenix are way out of position now. The main army off on its own, and luckily he is able to rally those Phoenix around and catch up. Tenza simply cannot engage with those High Templar, but he is going to go over for this third base, and there's so much production here. So much production is going to go down here for Nemuri, excuse me. Tenza doing a pretty nice job. Now what is Nemuri going to do? He says he is going to fly home, see if he can pick off these Mutas, these Corruptors smartly out front. He's going to catch a huge volley here. Able to pick off just a couple of Phoenix. Not quite, but while more and more gateways go down. Plenty of drone kills here, and he is going to just smartly head out the back and home. In this game, the workers' loss is going to be very, very similar. Units lost overall heavily in favor of Nemuri, as you can kind of tell just from how the game has been going. And again, chasing down with these Phoenix, but he's going to catch another volley. That's a little rough for him. Finally, that +2 is going down. Shield upgrade as well. The Zergling's not going to do anything against this army. And the income is really going to be the story here. How much longer? Oh, and these Zealots doing plenty of work. We'll have to see. And yes, he was able to get about 9 more drones there. His income is rapidly becoming a problem. As Nemuri now, a great High Templar over there, able to pick off that drone as well. He seems to just be running Tenza around a little bit, as it looks like he may try to get another base up down here. I do like this couple little forward cannons, just as kind of a little bit heavier defense spot. And it looks like Tenza was hesitant there for a moment. Not quite sure what's going to happen here. He's getting he's getting a Baneling nest, maybe trying to wipe out a bunch of these Zealots, but they are 2-3 Zealots and a shield upgrade just about to finish. Soon to be 3-1-3 Zealots. You don't get to say that very often. Heavily upgraded. Now these Phoenix have that +2, and I feel like if he just gets some more Void Rays to take care of the Corruptors, or keeps those Archons and those High Templar around, this army should not do much, and it looks like he is going to try to go for potentially a killing blow here. And catching a big volley. Not the best here. Nemuri's getting a little over-aggressive against those Corruptors. You don't want to fly too far in. There was a good pullback. And the blink forward, he is now able to start picking off a good amount. That +2 really showing its worth. And there he does turn around, smartly pulls back, and there we go. That activated charge, and you can see how quickly they tear into those Mutas. We're going to zoom out a little bit so we can see this battle go down in all of its glory over this crevasse here. +1 for being able to say crevasse during a cast. You see this ship kind of boosting around here. This base certainly will be canceled. No way he can get over there in time to save it. If he's very lucky, he'll be able to save this probe. And no cancel there. APM just not really an issue at this point. Too many other things to be going on. And more Phoenix are being produced, plus 3 weapons and plus 2 shields, very much like that. He is getting now 7 cannons. Trying to very heavily cannon up. I do really like that. Oh, and some great high Templar placement. Really like that. He does know that he has the upper hand. The income for our Zerg player is devastated right now. He just doesn't have that many mining bases. This one's almost mined out up here. He's just got his natural. Oh, and could he get some big storms off here? He's flying right over. Can he get the storms off? One storm could do so much damage and just barely not able to do it. He does bruise up some of the units, but not quite the money storm he was looking for, as he is rapidly running out of Phoenix. He's trying to take down this base, but it's not even Tenza's main mining base at this point. Protoss player does have a pretty good bank built up. It looks like this game is coming to a head here. I'm guessing it will end here in the next couple of minutes. So both these players kind of going all in. Tenza without much. Oh, and so much muted damage going down. He's pulling those back so well. Able to do a ton of damage. But these Corruptors, what are they really going to hit? If he can take out... Oh, great storm there. Able to get most of the Corruptors. You can see they're all bruised there. So many Muta. If he could kill the Muta, that's really the main issue right now. He doesn't have a whole lot of units that these Corruptors are very well effective against. Another good storm going off, and he is able to reinforce just so quickly. So many High Templar coming across here. Once these get stormed, they will be absolutely devastating. And now with all of these orange Mutas, he can't really attack this heavily cannon base, or this one, Nemuri. I really like how he fortified those positions. Many Archons coming in. Definitely like that. Good against both the Mutas and Corruptors. These Phoenix taking some hits. Oh, and some great Archon shots go down. So many. So much damage going down, and it looks like at this point that is past the tipping point. I do not see how Nemuri could lose from here. Oh, and those Archons absolutely tearing through. Those are 3/2/3 Archons, and Tenza taps out. Looks like he got a little bit committed to that air attack, and Nemuri was just simply ready for it. Not quite sure. Maybe something like Swarm Host could have been good to go into. It's a little tough because against, a Sky Toss, you don't just want to simply get overrun. And with those Locusts not being able to hit air, it's not a great solution, but see if he can put on some pressure. But he's tended to just go into Muta and Corruptor, which happened to play into Nemuri's overall strategy pretty well. So just not quite able to come across there. Those Archons worth their weight in gold, 5 kills on each of them. And I'm sure 24 on that one. There's your hero Archon for the day. So we will be going to a game 3. I will be putting that up very shortly. So stay tuned and we will see the epic conclusion to this best of 3.